So in this video, we'll be going over an outline of what I've written on what I think it takes to separate the average from the best. Stay tuned. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Michael and welcome back to the Growth Mindset channel. So I've been really wanting to do this video. I actually wrote this script about 4 months ago and I just didn't know how to present it or how to develop it in such a way that it sounds real. Like it doesn't sound like it's very automated or it sounds like I just wrote a script and literally memorized it line by line. And you might be able to tell in my earlier videos that I actually did write a pretty descriptive outline of what I was going to say, but now my videos are more free-flowing. Like I just write down bullets of what I need to say. So in this video, keep in mind that this is all just me talking and not memorizing anything. So hopefully it comes off as more real and more entertaining for you guys. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So in this video, I wanted to talk about what I think and how it takes to become successful. And I know a lot of people that are in spotlight, that are super famous or are really well known, we might think that they could have just gotten lucky and now they're at the top. But a lot more often than not though, the people that get lucky, sure, they might be born into wealth, born into fame, or maybe that is like genetically their skill set that separates them from the very best and the average. But I also want to bring home to you guys that you can also become successful, whatever specialty that you want. It really just comes down to having the certain behaviors that really drive your performance. And so the people that do become successful that were just known as the average, they have certain skill sets that really took them to the next level. You often forget about them having to narrow their focus and get really good at something. So having that self-discipline on specializing in something unique, having the dedication to continuously put in the grind and the effort even when no one is looking. Those are probably two of the biggest, hardest things to do. Really maintain that focus and drive towards some level of success that you want to achieve. But really, it boils down to that there really is no secret to success. There's no shortcuts in life. There's no shortcuts in just buying something that you think will make you better. It's really about putting in the hours, the dedication, and having that self-discipline so that you can actually become good at whatever skill set that you want and then be known for that skill set of being the person of excelling. So successful people are very goal-oriented. They may have mental daily tasks, and if they think they can't have those goals completed in one day, like especially me, if there's goals that I know I can't complete in one day because it's such a large goal, I'll write it down or I put it on my computer. And so then it's really easy to carry that goal over for the next week or the next day. And I know sometimes if it's a really easy goal, I'll just write it down or put it on a sticky note, and I know that I can just cross it out that day because it was a relatively easy task or a task that I knew I can get done in one day that seemed realistic. For example, let's say you wanted to go to college and you wanted to get a degree. You can set a one-day goal, but that's not going to happen because there's a process already in place that will take you several years to get a college degree. So set yourself realistic goals, but also have self-discipline to hold yourself accountable on something that is realistic. As I continue in this video, I'm going to be sharing you tips that I use and hopefully they can be valuable to you or add to your list. If you have any other recommendations that I may have missed or you think is a good idea, go ahead and submit a comment below and we would love to hear your ideas. So for me, I make daily checklists. Most of them will be mental, but if I think I'm going to forget, I'll write it down. I'll put it in my phone as a reminder that may trigger later in the day so that I know when I have free time, I can dedicate those extra hours towards working towards my goals. They spend their day working towards their purpose. So whatever personal mission they may have, they'll spend most of their time working towards it. Like for me, I want to develop a brand, develop a business, develop an online presence. So what I do is I spend dedicated time working towards that goal. Sure, more than often than not, I might work 5 hours on a video and I won't get any views, but I know that one day there will be this point where eventually there will be traffic on this channel that will grow and will provide value to a lot more people than what is at the current state. It's about understanding that putting in those hours, dedicating the time, and really just realizing that because I spend so much hours in it, I'm not actually upset with spending the amount of time that I do have in it because I know that the purpose and the mission and the reasoning behind it is solid with what I want to do, so I don't have any problem working towards those personal goals. And you shouldn't either. If there is a goal that you want, a personal goal, maybe a career goal, understand that putting in those hours and really focusing on that purpose is going to be fulfilling. Like that journey of taking you there, of really struggling, grinding, and putting in to the time is going to make you happier in the long run because you understood the challenges and the requirements to actually get to your success-oriented goal. Another thing too is that it's good to take time out of your day to self-reflect. Think about how many goals did you meet? Were you able to cross out on your checklist 5 things, 10 things, or what? I know for me, at the end of the day, I will self-reflect on how I thought I did for that day. Every day should be a strive. You should be becoming better each day as you progress. You know, if you spend only 10 minutes a day working towards your real personal goals, it's going to take you a long time to get there and you might not even reach your goals. But I think that if you set the right behaviors and you understand what the requirement is to get you there, you will have no problem of reaching your goals and you will be much happier at the end of the day because you know you tried your very best. I know for me personally, if I don't shoot a video, and it's kind of hard too, like in the creative industry, in the creative world, is that I have a goal of making at least 3 videos a week. And sometimes the creativity is just not flowing. So I spend hours really just thinking, staring at the computer, or maybe trying to read a book or find other ideas and to really get me that creative thought process going. But sometimes I know that even no matter how much time I do spend thinking about these topics, it just doesn't click. And that's a challenge with my personal goals, is that I have a literal number that I want to meet, but it's hard. You'll see too in the videos where I'm super passionate about, but I might not get any views. Or I can make a video on something that I know people are gonna like and I'm not really that passionate about, or I'm just making a video because I know I need to make a video. But that's really the hardest part too about being success oriented, is that you have a hard time understanding what may be the end result at the end of the day. So I do set goals too. Like, you know, in this video we're all about talking about goals and how to be successful. Is that I'll have daily goals, I'll have weekly goals, and then I'll have monthly and yearly goals. And I stress this too in many other videos that we have on the Growth Mindset channel. It's all about just setting personal goals. If you want to run, let's say, a mile in under 8 minutes, you can't just do that in one day, or you might try to, but you might have a heart attack along the way. So I would recommend breaking it down to smaller steps. And this is how successful oriented people are. They understand that a big milestone is really hard to do. So what they do is they set small goals along the way that help them check their progress and know that they're building the steps to get there. Another thing too is that successful people understand what they want and how to get there. So, you know, it might be hard to realize what your purpose is, but once you find that purpose, break it down into smaller values and smaller goals that will help you track to the big milestone in your life. Successful oriented people, they really understand what they want in life. I feel like when I talk to people, they're just kind of just floating around, you know, just living life and living in the moment. But I do think it's incredibly valuable, and I do see it when I meet someone that is success oriented, that they know what their purpose is and they know their mission. So they have their goals built around that. Their daily life is built around their purpose. And you can see it in their behaviors and their lifestyle. If someone doesn't have a purpose or a mission, they might not do anything all day. And then eventually over the years, you kind of see them progress like in this negative downhill performance. Maybe they're gaining like excessive weight, they might be depressed, or they don't really have a mission. And so I try to encourage other people that have this behaviors, you know, you gotta find what it is that you want, and then you gotta set those milestones to help you get there. And really too, that's what this channel is all about, is helping you get back on track to really live whatever life purpose it is that you want, and then go out there and do it. That is like at the core, that is probably one of the biggest things that drives me, is that I see people that are off track, off center, they don't know what they want, and they're kind of just living their life how they want without any real discipline behind it. And I don't think that's how you should be living your life. I think you should be living your life with doing what you want, feeling fulfilled, and working towards those goals. And I'm not sure how else to relay this information. Like, I know for some people it's very obvious. Like, if you wanted to be an engineer, you could just go to school and become an engineer. If you have any recommendations on how I can help people really drive to their inner purpose and share that, please comment below. Another thing too about successful oriented people is that they are willing to put in the time and the effort and the energy, no matter how long it takes. It might take them 5 years to reach their goal, but they understand the reason why they are working towards their goals. So when they put in those extra hours or late nights or on the weekends working towards their mission, they are okay with that. So if you have a goal and you are really driven to your goal, you don't care how much time it's going to take, because you know at the end of the day you have purpose you're working towards. So the next thing I wanted to bring up, we're kind of shifting this topic and discussion. Successful people know their skill sets, and they understand and believe in their strengths, and they know their weaknesses at the same time. So they truly believe in their skill sets, and they won't let people tell them otherwise. Like, someone might say a negative comment to you, and an average person will hear that comment, process that comment, and then stop doing what their purpose is, what their mission is. A success-oriented person will not stop because of negative feedback. They will continue to strive and work towards their goals because they know that is what will make them happy. You know, being successful is not about asking permission to do something. It's all about just doing it and being in that mindset of knowing that to be successful, you have to do that thing yourself. No one will tell you to be, you know, this is what it's going to take to get there. If you find someone that is a mentor and you really believe in their values, then that is a personal pro. But more often than not, people just live their lives or might throw something at you to try to get you off track. But a successful oriented person will always know their track, know how to stay on track, and will do whatever it takes to get there. Another thing too is that people like this that know what they want, they don't have the words can't, won't, don't know how to do. They just figure it out. They'll do whatever it takes. They'll spend hours reading, practicing, testing, implementing, performing to get towards their goals. So if they can't figure it out, they're going to find out a way to do it, and they're going to solve that problem on the spot or over the next couple weeks to really understand what it takes. It really boils down to also having the growth mindset, which we'll be talking about later on in this video, is that being successful and having goals is all about just thinking of what it takes to get there. So don't be afraid of rejection or failure. More often than not, if someone sees a rejection, let's say you're applying for a job, right? So you're applying for a job and you get a rejection letter and you think that's a fail on your end. But ultimately and really, a failing is when you give up. If you don't give up, a rejection letter is just a note, personal note that says they didn't accept this position at that time, but you could apply for more positions. What I did too, especially when I was applying for jobs, I would get rejections all the time. Every single day I would apply. During my break between classes, I would just continuously apply for jobs, and I would have emails of rejections all the time. But I understood that that is just a personal note to myself. I use this negative energy and I turn it into positive energy. When someone gives me a rejection, I apply for 2 more jobs. And then I continuously do that. So I feed off of anything that is a hard, difficult challenge in my personal life, and I turn that around and I use that energy to push myself even farther. And this is another reason too on how I was so successful on just like maintaining physical fitness, is that if I had any hiccups where I knew I was doing bad in my own personal life, I would just work out even harder. And I would try to solve those problems along the way while I'm working out. So I would think of what was difficult in my life while I was maybe running on the treadmill, and then I would try to solve that problem and implement it the next day. If you do hear a rejection, someone that is successful will figure out, how can I get past that rejection? How can I not get rejected the next time? And how can I prevent those rejections from ever happening? Most people will stop at that black wall. When they hear no, they just stop. Someone with a growth mindset will say, how can I not get a no? And how can I solve this negotiation? Because really, life is all about negotiating. It's about figuring out what's going to work for someone and what's not going to work for someone, so that you can create those win-win scenarios between both parties. If you get a rejection from a job, maybe they don't understand what value you can provide. Maybe they don't know who you are and what behaviors you have. So you have to help them find out what your behaviors are. Maybe you have to beef up your resume. Maybe you have to send them a personal email saying why you're applying for the job and how you make that perfect fit. And successful people are willing to take the risk. They're willing to throw everything away because they know the value that they're providing and the mission that they are fulfilling for not only for themselves, but for others is going to be beneficial. And successful people also take ownership in their mistakes. They understand their flaws and they find out ways to improve them. Maybe they know their personality isn't the best fit for really solving challenging problems. So they may bring in a partner that can help them solve those challenges, so they can create a partnership where your partner will help you with your weaknesses and you have your strengths to help you both succeed. And really it boils down to, with having success, is having that growth mindset. And what does the growth mindset, what does that really mean? It really just means to not stop learning and to never give up. I know more often than not, we might hit a certain age and we think all of our goals are done and this is how life is meant to be. But I don't think it's supposed to be like that. I think every single day that you live should be fulfilling and working towards some type of inner purpose that you may have. Really, it's about striving, educating yourself, and having those experiences that you want. And if you can't have those experiences right now, figure out why can't you have those experiences, and then find out a reason on how you can have those experiences. Like for me, I want to be able to just wake up whenever and not have any financial requirements to do something. And really that to me means financial freedom. And so I will do whatever it takes to get there, find out whatever avenue it is. And I hope you guys follow me on this journey on how I'm going to get there. There is no question if I'm going to get there. That is not a question at all. The question is how and when I'm going to get there, because this guy right here won't give up. And I stress to you guys as well, if there's something that you want, don't give up. And understand, like, write those goals down, because once someone sees that you're serious, people are going to stop trying to throw you off track, because they already know there's no point. There's no point in trying to make someone not want what they want, because they already are mentally driven to get there. And I want that, bring that home with you guys too on this channel, is that if you are mentally driven, you will be successful. And don't give up on your dreams. That is huge. Another thing to do to help keep yourself motivated, you can read or listen to educational books, motivational books, videos. I get inspired all the time. If I'm losing motivation, I'll watch a YouTube video on someone who's doing exactly what I want to do or has done what I want to do. And that will motivate me again to go back. Like sometimes it might be hard to operate in this bubble where you're doing everything and you're losing focus of what's out there. So take a time, take a breather, and see what other people are doing, and maybe that's kind of how you want your life to go, and then perhaps even reach out to them and figure out what drove them to the goals and how they met their personal goals as well. And always strive to be your best in any situation. Just focus on always continuing to grow and learn, and you will see yourself, if you make a video and you look back in 1 year, you'll see the huge improvement on yourself. So alright guys, that's really all I have for you. I know this video was pretty much all over the place. I'm just kind of listening to you guys, topics that I've written on for successful oriented people. And I hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything I may have missed. You can literally just line out bullets of recommendations for how to be successful, and that will be super helpful for the people around us on this channel. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching the Growth Mindset channel. Please do me a favor by liking, subscribing, and sharing this video with one of your friends. If you dislike this video twice so I know that you really hated it along the way. One more thing, please share this video with one of your friends. We are trying so hard on the Growth Mindset channel to provide value and share the word of the Growth Mindset. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Bye.